Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We are gonna get started. Let me like I'm looking up at the sky. We're gonna get started. As y'all can see, I'm comfortable. Um, Tonight it's gonna be fairly quick tonight. As I have a lot of information to give you, but not necessarily any type of homework that you'll need to hand in. This will be more so on the business end of your writing. Okay. This will be more so on the business end of your writing. But I want you to have it now so that you can start your research. You will be doing a lot of research this weekend. But again, it's nothing that you're going to have to turn in terms of homework. It's just something that you're going to make sure, you're going to need to make sure that you have covered on the business end. Okay? So again, I'm going to go ahead and get started. What time is it? Okay. Yeah. So we had about 5 minutes to get in. Okay. So the first thing, well, the title of tonight's lesson is protecting your property. What's this? Never mind, don't let me start touching it because I'll mess it up. It's protecting your property. And what I mean by that is your intellectual property. When we talk about having, when we talk about having intellectual property, basically what that is anything that you create in terms of writings, music, movies, anything creative, right? That you may put together and that you have the complete control or all the rights of, that you have all the rights over, that's considered your intellectual property. If it's something that you can use that nobody else has the rights to, or anybody that wants the rights has to contact you to get access to it, that is your intellectual property. If you create a social media post and it's completely organic, it's completely all of your thoughts and ideas, whether it be written or played out in video form, that is your intellectual property. No one else can take and reuse that. And I honestly did not know that social media had the intellect, because people still on social media all the time, until I had an incident on Instagram. When I had Instagram, somebody took my whole post. Somebody took my whole post and recreated it. And my mentor at the time, she was like, you need to report it and file a complaint about your intellectual property. I'm like, well, like how do I do that? Because again, I didn't even know social media had that, but I did my research, which I should have done in the beginning. And this is the video that I was telling y'all a couple weeks ago that had like 2 million views on it. So it was my first real viral video, and they stole it, baby, word for word. Like they downloaded the video, they reposted it on their page along with the caption that I had written. But Instagram was really fast about getting everything done. I think they blocked her, or they deactivated her page or whatever. And then they gave me back the rights to the post. Get very, very much ghetto. It was given very much ghetto. I was just shocked. I was like, it wasn't even a big deal. Like, it was just something I literally threw together, just throwing something out there trying to see if it's going to hit or not. That's part of testing the market. That girl stole my whole video, reposted it, used the same music, again, copied and pasted my caption like it was hers, and went on by her business, baby. Went on by my business. Somebody created a page with my image on it, like my profile picture. They took my profile picture and put it on the page. I think I may have before I deactivated Instagram. I think I may have had 5,000 followers. Wasn't even many people on there. Anyway, them people stole my picture, stole some of my posts off my page, and just recreated the whole page. So yeah, Meta is very, very ghetto. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't really fool with Facebook or Instagram. But said all that to say that is your um that was your that's your intellectual property. That belongs to you. Those are the rights. Now, in terms of protecting your intellectual property, because we are authors and the work that we are putting out is written material, right? We're going to need what's called a copyright. Now, let me say this. When you create anything, whether it be writing, a movie script, a song, you may publish a song, anything that needs to be published usually needs a copyright, right? However, once you publish that information, you automatically have a certain amount of rights as the creator. Now, even if you purchase a copyright on your property, there's a chance that somebody can still steal it. However, there's a way that you can protect yourself through the government and through the copyright laws, which you can sue them or what have you. You can do the same thing without having the copyright laws if you have the proper paperwork to show that you were the one that in fact created the work. Something that I normally do just as extra protection, there are certain platforms that I use that record the date and time that I first start on something. It records the date that I start on it, and it records the date that I finish it. Those are, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Those are the things that I use to make sure that I have that extra cushion. So if somebody tries to steal my stuff, I can say, because right here on my little laptop, this is when I started, this is when I finished. If I publish something on social media, this is the date and time that it was published, and I'll even screenshot it. Because, when you screenshot with iPhones, I know it'll say the date and the time that you screenshotted or what have you. So those are the extra things that you can have, because again, we're in a day and age where everybody's trying to go viral. If they see something that's interesting, they are going to try to take it and do away with it with themselves. Amazon also has a way of tracking your property as well. So that's another level of protection that you'll have using Amazon as your publisher. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But as far as your copyright, if you do choose to go the route of purchasing your copyright paperwork, I will suggest a lot of business attorneys will give you a free consultation in terms of copyright laws. And if you're just starting out, or if there's something new, you may want to speak with a copyright attorney. Again, a lot of them give free consultations. Or if you're like me, you can go in there and read the laws and things yourself, just to make sure that you understand for yourself versus having somebody try to explain it to you. Whatever you don't understand, after you read it for yourself, we read everything, okay? If you don't understand something after reading it for yourself, then reach out to somebody else for help. But the website for the copyright is going to be copyright.gov. COPYRIGHT.gov. Copyright.gov is where you're going to get your copyright. I'm going to go ahead and say this because I feel like somebody's going to ask a question later. Copyright and trademarking are two different things. Again, you copyright published material in terms of movies, television shows, books, songs, things of that nature, anything dealing with the arts. You're going to trademark names and logos, basically. So, for instance, Walmart will have a trademark on Walmart. Nobody else can use the name Walmart. Target is going to copyright Target. Nobody else will be able to use the name Target, whatever the name of your business is, you can copyright the name of your business so that no one else can use it. There are different types of, not copyright, I'm sorry, trademark. There are different types of trademarks that you can do. You can trademark just the word, meaning that it doesn't have any special like colors or any particular letters or characters or anything like that. Or you can copyright everything, meaning that nobody will be able to use the same color combination that you have. Nobody will be able to use the same letter combination that or letter characters that you have. So if you have somebody draw or make up your logo, you can submit that as well so that nobody can use the same, again, color combination. They can't use the same type of design that you have. The easiest one to do though is just the name, but that's something that you would research on your own again. And if you have something that you want to trademark, like if you decide to start a publishing company after this and you want to trademark the name, you would go to what's the copyright website? USPTO, uspto.gov. I'm thinking off the top of my head. I wasn't planning on talking about that, so I don't have it in my notes. But I believe it's uspto.gov. So again, copyright and trademark are two totally different things. So again, the next thing that you're going to need for your book is an ISBN. The ISBN, okay, thank you, JD. The ISBN is going to be like your birth certificate for your book. It helps the library, stores, and any other type of entity to identify that this book belongs to you. It will have, it is like the birth certificate. You'll have to say when it was born or created, when it was first published, who was the publisher, you or your publishing company, who is the author, were there any other contributors to this work. It's going to track all of that through your ISBN. There are different types of ISBNs that you can get. For instance, some of you said that you wanted to do a series. If you're going to do a series of books, there's a bulk of ISBN numbers that you can purchase, and they will be in order so that it'll be able to follow the series. And I forget what the name of that book is called. And I want to say it's like $375. Don't quote me, because again, it's been a couple years since 23 was the last time that I bought one. It was in 2023. You can purchase your ISBN on Bowker, BOWKER, Bowker.com. That's the website for the ISBN, BOWKER.com. Now, if you are planning to sell your book yourself, because you can sell them on hand, you can purchase your ISBN as well as the what's the code? The scan code. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The code that you just don't have one. The code like this. I can't think of the name of it. Like a code like that. I'm drawing a blank. You can purchase that and the ISBN at the same time. I think that by itself is like $25, but it's best the barcode. Thank you. You can purchase the barcode and the ISBN number at the same time, and that way, wherever you go, you can scan the code, and it'll take you to the website where you can purchase the barcode and the ISBN number. Now, any questions about your barcode or your copyright before I move? Not your barcode. Well, yeah, your barcode, your ISBN, and the copyright before I move further. All right, let's rock and roll. So, Amazon, which is what we're going to be using to publish. Again, it's free. That's why I like publishing through Amazon. It's free. Takes a load off of me. I can order books if I want to sell them on hand, but if I get too busy or just don't have the bandwidth to carry those books, Amazon will do it for me and send me my little change, direct deposit in my account. Where you're going to go to set up your account to publish, because it's not the same website as where you go to buy stuff. to set up your publishing account with Amazon is going to be KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP.com. I should have cut my laptop up. KDP.com, Kindle Direct Publishing. Now, if you already have an Amazon account, you can connect it with that account, but again, it's still two separate entities, right? When you set up your KDP account, it's going to ask you if you are an independent person or if you have like a business entity. If you have a business, then it's going to ask you for your ISBN number. You're going to have to put your banking information in there because they're going to need a way to pay you. If you are a sole proprietor, they're going to ask you for your social security number. Basically, all your tax information. It's a real thing, y'all. They ask you for this information because you're going to be receiving royalties. They have to report it to the government, and you're also supposed to be reporting it as well. So at the end of the year, you will get a 1099 from Amazon from all of your earnings that you'll receive, and they are good about getting your stuff on time. I do my books, and I also have my affiliate. I'm a Amazon influencer. So I get both of those statements at the end of or at the beginning of the year. They will send you emails however you choose to get your delivery, either by mail or by email. They will send you things periodically just to make sure that all of your tax information is correct, to make sure that your earning statements are correct. It's a real business. And that's another reason why I like going through Amazon, because it's like when you're a one-woman show, which I need to do better. When you're a one-woman show, things like that on the accounting end, you don't always have time to take care of. So having those records available to you that you can go and look at and go over and make sure, because you're going to be able to compare what they have to your bank statement. If something is off, then it'll be easy to contact them and say, hey, well, this is what I received in my bank account, and this is what I have on my royalty statement with you. Something's off. And it'll be easy to resolve it that way. So again, that's why I like going through Amazon. So again, the website is kdp.com. Another thing, if you choose to self-publish through Amazon, they will automatically assign an ISBN number, but it would only be specific to Amazon. You won't be able to, for instance, if you purchase your own ISBN and barcode, you can take those books to Walmart, let's say, and have them sell them on their shelves, because when they scan the barcode, it's going to go directly to you. It's going to have your pricing information is going to come up, because you do have to set the price as well on Boker.com. When you purchase your barcode, you have to set all of that up. So when they scan the barcode, the price and everything is going to come up, and it's going to trace back to you. If you go through Amazon, for instance, and case in point, when I did my first book, I didn't have the money to purchase the ISBN and the barcode. So I used Amazon and let them assign me an ISBN number, but it was specifically for Amazon. I couldn't take those books and put it on anybody else's bookshelf, because when you scan the barcode, it's going to come back as the property of Amazon. You don't own that ISBN number. What I did, however, though, when I when I went back and republished the book, I purchased an ISBN number and a barcode for it. So when I did the second edition, I purchased the ISBN and the barcode, so now it belongs to me. I hope that makes sense. So again, I don't know what nobody's pocket's looking like, but if you're ready to publish a book and you don't have the funds to buy the ISBN, let Amazon give you one for free and sell your books and get the money to purchase whatever you need after that. There is no shame in that, baby, because it is what it is. All right, so we've talked about our copyright, our ISBN, and we've also talked about setting up our accounts on kdp.com because that's where we're going to be doing our publishing. Again, everything that I'm giving you tonight is going to be stuff that you're going to have to research. So again, there really won't be any homework. There will be homework, but nothing that you're going to have to turn in. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Amazon will ask you if you have your own ISBN number. It'll say, did you purchase your ISBN from Barco.com? You say yes, and then it'll ask you to enter your ISBN number. Once you enter the ISBN number, if you've purchased the barcode to go along with it, all of that is going to populate in the field for you. If you did not, let me put my book and I don't see it. If you did not purchase your ISBN, it'll ask you if you want Amazon to provide one for, or it'll say KDP. If you want KDP to provide one for you, you'll click yes. They'll populate a number in the box for you, and then you'll go from there. It will tell you that the ISBN number that KDP provides for you will only be specific to Amazon. So it will tell you that. It will give you that information. It will give you that information. Great question. Great question. So when you upload your, okay, I normally do everything. So once you upload your information on Amazon, it's going to ask you what type of book is it. Is it the first thing is going to ask you is if it's a paperback book, right? Yes, you want paperback. It'll take you through the process. You'll upload your documents. And next week I'll be giving you like the correct dimensions and stuff like that for your book. We'll talk about that later. So it's going to ask you if it's a physical book. Yes, it's a physical book. You're going to upload your manuscript to Amazon, which can either be Word document or PDF. I think it's one more that they take, Word document or PDF. I normally do Word document. And then it's going to ask you, you know, what price do you want to set it at? What size do you want it to be? All that good. Like, it's going to tell you everything. It is, for me, in my opinion, it is the best site to use for beginners because it walks you through step by step what you need to do. It asks you the questions that need to be asked, and it tells you, hey, because you have this many pages in your book, the best sizing, because you know it'll tell you the dimensions, the best sizing would be XYZ, right? Or it'll say once you upload it, it'll say, hey, you selected this size book, but your words are going outside of the lines, meaning that something is off. Either the manuscript that you uploaded is off, or you selected the wrong, it'll say trim. It said you selected the wrong trim, and that's basically talking about the sizing of your book. Now, as you move on, it's going to ask you which entities do you want your book to be available on. I click all of them. I everything. It'll ask you, do you want it to be available at Barnes and Nobles? What's another one? Something that I hadn't never even heard of. I said yes. And the next thing I know, people all overseas was buying my books. And I just said, thank you, Jesus. But select everything. Select everything. And so once I did everything, I wanted to be available everywhere. So once you select that, it'll ask you if you want to purchase. Now, The first thing is going to say, do you want to purchase a proof copy? Yes, you do. You want to get a proof before you approve it to be published. The reason why you want to get a proof is because the very first time I did mine, let's take this book for instance. The very first time I did mine, I submitted my little book. And when I got the proof, my words was like all over here. So imagine this line right here being over here on the edge. That ain't how it's supposed to be. So even though my cover was off, like the title of the book, it was all up here, you know. So even though it may look right, once you set it up on the website, always, always, always get a proof. I think a proof is like $2.75. You can afford that, okay? Hopefully. Get you a proof. Make sure that you buy a proof before you hit approve to publish. It's going to ask you that. It's going to send you the proof. It's going to have proof all over, so it won't be nothing that you can go and sell. Read through the book word for word. Make sure there are no misspelled words. Make sure everything is indented how you want it to be indented. That do that. Either you do it or have somebody else that you know and trust do it. Make sure that you get approved. Make sure everything is correct before you hit approve to publish. Because once you approve to publish, that's it. Like, you can go back and change it, but it'll be a while before you'll be able to go back and change it. I think it's like 10 days. So your stuff will be wrong for like 10 days. And it'll be available to purchase for other people. That's the problem. So everybody's going to have a wrong copy of the book. Okay? So make sure you get your proof. All right? Once you get your proof and you approve it, you're going to go back and say, yes, everything is correct. I approve it to be published. Then it's going to say, would you like to purchase author copies? Yes, you do. Those are the books that you're going to have on hand to sell if you choose to do so. And again, I think they're like $2.75 or $2.50 a piece. $25 for 10 books, you know, however you choose to do it, whatever your budget is. Go ahead and get you a few copies to have on hand. Again, word of mouth is going to be your best marketing tactic. Word of mouth is going to be your best marketing tactic, okay? I usually give away some books for free. Like, if you have the ability to go live on social media, do some type of contest. Do a drawing of some sort. Let them know that you're giving away books for free. That is going to draw in the audience as well. Those people that got the free books, have them do a review on the book, right? That'll be a part of them getting the book for free. Okay, so that's another marketing tactic. Write that down. After you've purchased your author copies, your paperback book has been approved to publish, then it's going to say, hey, would you like to also publish this book in our Kindle store? That's your ebook. Of course I do. You're going to hit yes. And then it's going to ask you to format everything. It's going to have you go through and look and make sure that now the format is going to look a little bit different because digital books, of course, look different than paperback books. And you may have to go in and make some adjustments to your manuscript, meaning the format, in order for it to look the way that you want it to look on the ebook. So again, KDP will walk you through everything that you need to know in order to publish that book. So again, first they're going to let you do the physical book. And once you've done the whole process, the pricing, you purchase your author copies, then it's going to say, hey, would you also like to publish this on Kindle? Yes, I do. I want everybody to have access to it. Kindle royalties are a little bit less than the physical book because the ebook is usually cheaper because of the digital delivery. Now, one thing that I don't appreciate that Amazon did that they weren't doing in years past was now they charge for distribution on digital books. They weren't doing that before. So before you were able to get 100% royalties on those, but now they've started charging a fee for that. So, which is still good. You still come out on top. Great question, Savage. So, the way that can it Lord, Amazon is like a print on demand. They print the book once it's ordered. So it's not like Amazon. It's not like when you publish a book on Amazon, they print 1,000 copies. Mm-mm. When you're self-publishing, they will print them, and you know they move pretty fast. They will print it when it's ordered. So they're print machines. The depending on how many author copies you order, it may take. I think it may take up to like 7 days. And they'll let you know because I think they say allow 2 days for printing and maybe 5 days for shipping or something like that. I may have it backwards, but it doesn't take long at all. But they don't just start printing books when you publish it. Not like that. Yeah, it's a good way to get books for free. You do a raffle online and tell them people you're gonna get them a free book, and all you ask them for is a review, an honest review of the book. Great question. So what I normally do is I kind of research the market, research books in my genre to see what they're going for, research the top selling books on Amazon, see what they're selling for. Um, yeah, and then you go from there. The ratio, I believe the ratio is still 70-30, meaning that whatever you, and then you also have to take into account what you're trying to make off the book. What you're trying to make is what you're trying to make, but at the same time, understand you want people to be able to afford the book as well, right? Um, so all of that needs to be, it's going to take research. All of that needs to be taken into consideration. I want to say the royalty point is still 70-30. I know it was in 2023 when I did my last book. It was 20-30. I mean, not 20-30, 70-30, meaning that you get, for instance, if you sell your book for $10, Amazon is going to charge you $3 to publish that book, to send it out. And then they're going to send you the $7. Okay? Um Depending on if whether or not the person has Prime, I think they do get free shipping. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But the shipping fees will be on the customer. So take that into mind as well. But your price is your price. There's no right or wrong answer. Um, but it does take you doing a lot of research. I saw a book on there for like $400 one time. So wait, if it's selling, then you know. Yeah. If and listen, I did because I was going through a transition in my life at the time, and I didn't have at that time. I think it was like $125. I didn't have that to buy no ISBN. And Amazon said they'll give me one for free. I threw that free ISBN up there and sold them books, baby. And them they carried me a long way. They paid my bills for a long time until I got myself together. So yes, definitely. Absolutely not, Charity. Mm-mm. Charge what you want to charge. Again, research and see what books are going for in your genre. Now, what I will say is if you're doing a series, I would take that into consideration as well because people are going to have to um purchase different books in a series. You see what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't price all my books for $15 in the series. You see what I'm saying? Like I may start off like the first book might be $15. The second book may be like $8. Right? The third book might be like $9. You see what I'm saying? You want to kind of keep it in the purchase range so that people will still want to buy the book. Like, I don't want y'all to break the bank, but you need to know what happened next in this story. Again, how much I paid for this little book? I think it was on sale though when I bought it. But this little book right here was $8.99. And see, this is what it will look like. I hope it's focused. When you purchase the ISBN, this is the ISBN, right? This is going to be the barcode. This is what tells them how much the price it is. I know she bought this together because it has the price with the ISBN. And I don't know what I did with my book. I was using it earlier. I threw it somewhere. But yeah, it'll tell you. So again, this little bit of book. And basically fit in the palm of my hand. I paid $9 for it. It was worth it. It's probably worth for the knowledge that's in this book. I would have paid more for it. But again, you price your book how you want to price your book. But don't ever, I told somebody, one of y'all that today, on your homework, don't ever sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short, and don't stop your audience, your potential audience, from being able to have access to you because you don't think that somebody is going to get it because they have a certain stature. Don't sell yourself short. I had my first book that I published. I had a homeboy. We were talking about something. He was like, "Hey, I didn't know you published a book." I was like, "Yeah, I got like several books." And he was saying how his daughter had my book. And I said, "Daughter got my book." Now I'm knowing this a little girl. She may have been like in middle school at the time. I'm like, "Your daughter ain't gonna been with my book." Because I didn't write that for kids. I said, "Well, how your daughter get my book?" And he was saying, I think her mama had it and she got it from her mama or whatever, which I knew her mom. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, he said, well, one thing I know for sure, you good at what you do. I said, why you say that? He said, because my daughter don't read. He said, we've been trying everything to get her to read. In school, at home, she will not read. He said, but she's read your book twice. And she has it in her personality saying that she's going to read it again. My book was not written for no middle school child. Hear me when I tell you, okay? It was written for grown people. But it's the fact that the child was mature enough to understand the context of the book, and she enjoyed it so much so that she read it more than one time. Although she was not a part, that's what I tell y'all about marketing. You don't know what works until you find what works. You don't want, okay, learn a little too much. You don't know what works until you put it. She was not a part of my target audience. When I factored in my marketing, when I factored in who I wanted to read that book, she was not included in the process, okay? But she loved it. And she read it more than one time. Now, it wasn't too much on the edge, but there were some things in there that I don't feel like a teenager, a middle schooler should have, but I said all that to say, do not limit yourself. Although you may say, okay, I want my audience to be between 20 and 35. You might get somebody that's 16 that likes your work. You see what I'm saying? So don't ever limit yourself. This is just something so that we can kind of gauge of what kind of material we want to put out there to market. That's all it is. Anyway, getting back to our subject at hand. Okay, so now talk about protecting your property. We'll talk about our KDP and how to set that up. Writing platforms. I only use 2 writing platforms. One of them I've been using since I was in high school. I think it came out when I was in high school, middle school or high school. I'm telling my age, but it's okay. I only use 2 writing platforms. The first one is Microsoft. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office to be exact. I use all the programs in Microsoft Office, but to write my books, I use Microsoft Word. It's easy. I can go in there. I can format my book size. I normally do 6x9 for my novels. Normally do 6x9. I did a 5x8 one time. I ain't too much like it, but it did what it needed to do. I normally format it in 6x9. I can set the page numbers on there. What else? Everything that I need to do to format that book to make it come out to look like it needs to look, I do it on Microsoft. All of my writings start in Microsoft. Now, you may find something that works better for you. That's your business. I use Microsoft Word. Okay? That's what I use. It works for me. It's been working for me for a long time. I also use Canva, canva.com. I primarily use Canva for my ebooks. If I'm going to do something that is only going to be in an ebook, I'll use Canva for it because I can do like the cover of it and any extra pictures. You know, you can get a little more creative because you don't have to worry about printing costs in Canva. I mean, for your ebooks. So I use Canva primarily for my ebook. The book that I'm working on now, I'm using Canva to start off with. But as I'm going along, I'm thinking that I'm going to also do it in print form. So all I'll do is just copy and paste it over to Microsoft. I copy and paste it over to Microsoft. Those are the two platforms that I use. For Canva, they do offer a free and a paid subscription. Of course, you're going to get more with the paid subscription. But again, if the funds ain't funding right now, use the free until you could do a little better. Use the free edition because there are a lot of options in the free edition as well. I also use Canva to make my cover, to make my book cover. KDP will give you the option to use their book cover program. I don't like it. I don't like it. It works if you're just starting off. I don't like it because it doesn't have a lot of options. It's very bland. It's very simple. And it just doesn't give you the right it don't give you a lot of options. It does not give you a lot of options. It's free. We like free, but it just doesn't give you a lot of options, and that's one of the things that I don't like. So I normally just create my book cover in Canva and then upload it on KDP. And I will give you all the dimensions because I don't think I wrote it on here. I didn't. To your book cover is going to have to be a certain size in order for you to be able to upload it properly to Amazon. And I have those exact sizes in Canva because that's where that's where I create my book covers. Yes, there are YouTube videos on how to maximize the free version on Canva. It's very basic. It's very basic and ugly. I did my first two, I think, using that, and child, once I got it, once I learned how to use Canva a little better, and I've been going with them ever since. I appreciate it because it helped me do what I needed to do in the beginning, but it's very bland. It's like, oh Lord Jesus. Ooh, Lord. Now, and for some books, though, it may work because you may not need the extra artwork to kind of have your make your book stand out. So I get it. And last but not least, I keep talking about book cover, but your book cover is also known as your packaging. Your packaging. What I use for my book covers or my packaging, again, like I said, Canva.com. I use a site called Fiverr as well. I think it's Fiverr if I'm not mistaken. I've been using them for years. They've done a lot of my logos in the past. They're good and cheap. A lot of stuff you'll find, well, you just have to research. A lot of stuff you'll find on there for like some artists will do something for you for as low as $5, $25. You just have to find what works for you. It also tells you their turnaround time. They have reviews on customers who've used their products to tell you if they liked it or if they didn't. Now, here's one that not a lot of people know about. This particular one can be used. It can work for you very well if you know how to work it. Because you have to be very strategic in how you work it. And that's ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT to create images. But you have to really be specific in your wording and telling it what it is that you're trying to create, how you want it to look, what colors you want on it, and it'll go from there. They have a free and a paid version as well. I've used them for some images that I've loaded onto social media. Amazon, we talked about that with their bland bland book covers. Or you can also use a private artist. On my last book that I did that was called The Game, I used a private artist to help me create the book cover for that. I used a combination of both. I used Canva and then I also used a private artist just to help it kind of. I've never even heard of that post on my wall. No, ma'am, I have not. I have not. But again, you can use whatever works best for you. These are just some of the things that I've been using over the years. Just started using ChatGPT, but Canva, Fiverr, Amazon, and private artists, I have been using them since 2016 when I first started. I had Canva back in 2016, but I didn't really know how to format the book cover because, again, I told you there has to be certain dimensions. Like there are specific dimensions that you have to have on the book in order for it to upload properly on Amazon. I couldn't figure that out initially, but by the time I did my second book, I had figured it out and I was able to do it myself through Canva. Amazon will also ask you if you have your own cover design. You can upload it and it'll tell you what the specific dimensions need to be in order for it to work. But sometimes even when you try to use those dimensions, it's off. But I've pretty much gotten it down to a science because I've done it so much with Canva. Again, most books are 6x9. That's what I use. And I'll give you guys those specific dimensions next week when we have our class. But I think that was all I wanted to cover with you guys. Again, this is more so on the business end. So again, what we covered tonight was protecting your property, our copyright, our ISBN, and our barcode. How to get that. These are, again, for the copyright laws. Make sure that when you go on that website, copyright.gov, that you read. Whatever you don't understand, then you reach out to somebody else, a lawyer that gives free consultations. But they're pretty self-explanatory. Your ISBN and your barcode, you can purchase them together. I want to say the last time I bought it, it was either 125 or 175 for both. Again, if you don't have that right now, that's fine. Amazon will give you one for free because that's going to be the primary one that you're using anyway, kdp.com. We also talked about your writing platforms, which is Canva and Microsoft. That's what I use. If you use something different, that's fine. If you use the notes on your phone, that's fine. Use what you have. Use what you have. No shame in that. Packaging, your book cover. We're going to use Canva, Fiverr, ChatGPT, Amazon. You can use a private artist or post on my wall like Lady Soul has suggested to us. But no, I've never used that one. There are a lot of different platforms. For me, I just like to stick with what works for me. It's kind of one of those things like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's just me. Again, I've been using these since 2016. That's a while to be using something. I've been using Microsoft longer than that. I like Microsoft Word. It works for me. It works for me. There was one more. Again, trademarking. That we kind of threw in there. Again, you only need to trademark if you have a name that you don't want nobody else to use, or if you have a certain design for your work that you don't want anybody else to be able to use. You can trademark that. All right, so for our homework this weekend, again, there is nothing that you're going to need to hand in. However, I do want you to research these different platforms to figure out what's going to work best for you. Make sure you go ahead and create both your Canva and your Amazon accounts. And your Amazon, again, is going to be kdp.com, Kindle Direct Publishing. So it's a separate entity from Amazon Prime, the where you do your shopping at. The ISBN is one. That's a great question. The ISBN is one per book. However, if you're doing like a series, you can purchase them in bulk, but it has to be within the same city. Like, for instance, you can't purchase the bulk and then like use one for one book and then use the other for a book that has absolutely nothing to do for the first book. It's not like that. You can't use it like that. If you're doing a series, that's the only way that you can purchase a bulk is if you like doing a series. And again, this was the last time I researched was in 23. It may have changed since then because they do change often. But yes, it is one per book. So if you're trying to publish 10 books this year, just have your little money ready because it's only one ISBN per book. Great question. And again, the ISBN and the barcode are two separate fees. You can purchase them together, which I suggest that you do if you're going to do the barcode. I mean, if you're going to do the ISBN, purchase them together. Yes. It will not allow, and it'll tell you, Jaleesa, it will tell you that you can't go back and change it once you select that you want to use Amazon's ISBN. Only way that I was able to change it, I had to republish the whole book again, which was okay because I ended up changing the cover because again I learned how to use it Canva a little better. I changed the cover. I think there were a few chapters that I may have changed in the book as well, though it ended up in a sense being a completely different book, but it's still the same book, if that makes sense. But yes, you do have to republish the book again once you buy your own ISBN. Great question. Great question. Any more questions before we hop off of here? Again, the homework assignment is to make sure that you create both. If you don't already have one, create your Canva and your Amazon account, kdp.com. kdp.com. Make sure you create that. Microsoft. I have a Microsoft subscription. I think it's $100 a year. But they also have a monthly subscription as well. If you don't want to pay for the whole year, you can pay monthly for that. And there is something good to have. Okay. She said if you have a nonprofit, Canva Pro is free. Do you have to have like your I'm gonna say ISBN? You have to have your FEIN. Do you have to put your FEIN in there? How do they know you're a nonprofit? What information do you have to have? I think teachers have it for free. Okay. So have your FEIN. I want to say that educators, if you're an educator, then it's free as well then. And they also do a 14-day free trial. So if you can get your stuff, if you can get your stuff done in 14 days, you know, do what works for you until you can work it another way. Okay. Well, that is all that I had for you guys tonight. Y'all had some great questions. Again, the two things that I want y'all to make sure y'all do: create your Canva account, create your Amazon account, well, more than two. Research, copyright, ISBN. I hope y'all have all this stuff in a notebook so that you can have it. I normally write everything down in a notebook, and anything that changes, I try to keep up to date with it. And so you can go back and kind of make whatever change it is so that you can have it for business purposes. Again, once you set up your Amazon account, you're going to need to tell them if it's a business account or if you are a sole proprietor. That just means that it's you. Basically, you're self-employed. Is basically what it says. And you will need all your tax information because they are going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year. If you make enough royalties, you will need to file taxes on it. Me too. You had some great questions. Also, I want to charge you guys that if you have not already started on your stories, start writing your stories. Start on your stories. If you need to, go back and watch the very first video in the series where we talk about creative writing. I told you how to set up the story as well. So it's going to be up to you to decide what kind of storyteller you're gonna be. That's not something that I can tell you. You're gonna have to decide what kind of storyteller that you want to be. You have the notes to know how to format a story. Go ahead and start on your stories. You can at least you should be able to get the introduction done over the weekend. At least get the introduction done to your story, your novel, over the weekend. All the introduction is it gives the complete overview of the point we're trying to make in the story. We're trying to tell you what happened without telling you what happened. That's what the introduction is. We tell you what happened without telling you everything that happened in the introduction. The body of the story is where we're going to pinpoint everything that happened that led us up to the ending of the story. But y'all had those notes, and if you don't, go back and watch the very first video. It was Creative Writing 101. Next week we'll be wrapping it up, because again we talked about the parts of a story. Next week, we'll get into the parts of the book, what you need or may not need in your book. There's certain things that you are going to need in your book to make it stand out a little better. Okay. Any more questions before we head on out? All right. If you missed any part of the video, you can always go back and rewatch it because it will be saved. Again, nothing to turn in for homework this week. But I am going to hold you accountable. So I will post something in the homework section, and you just tell me. I may ask you a question about something that you were supposed to research, and then I'll know if you did it if you give me. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So that way I can hold y'all accountable for doing your research. I'm gonna figure out how to hold y'all accountable. So yeah, if you don't have the right answer to this question, I'm gonna know you did not attempt at your homework. Okay. All right. So if all hearts, I am. I got to. I got to. If all hearts and minds are clear, I will see y'all next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night, y'all.